Hi, my name is Simon Batchelor. I'm Research Coordinator for the program called Modern Energy Cooking Services. If you're watching this video, this should be the first in a series of videos, and if you're watching it, I suspect that you are engaging with the program for some reason, maybe a new partner or a new member of the team. The idea of these videos is to give you an overview of the whole of the Modern Energy Cooking Program, Services Program. And it's a straight YouTube type shot camera. I'm not going to try and correct my mistakes. So I made a mistake just then because it's about modern energy cooking services. All those words are chosen very carefully. Modern energy is part of SDG 7's access for all to sustainable, reliable and affordable modern energy. Now we'll come back to SDG 7 in a moment. But SDG 7 has, until the last 4 to 5 years, pretty much ignored cooking. And cooking has been dominated by the enduring problem of biomass. Now, what do I mean about the enduring problem of biomass? There are 3 billion people who still cook with biomass. 2.6, 2.7, let's call it 3 billion. Of those people, approximately 4 million die every year from respiratory related diseases and illness, and that 4 million, to put it in context, is said to be more than malaria, HIV and TB put together. So cooking is a problem cooking with biomass is a problem that has been with us for a very long time. If I go back far enough myself, even in the 80s I was working on improved cook stoves. Now the solution that the world has worked on is to improve the combustion of the biomass. There was a hypothesis that if the combustion of the biomass could be improved sufficiently, the emissions would reduce and that would prevent much of that health-related challenge. As you will know from the World Health Organization curve, you actually have to bring the emissions right down almost to zero before making significant difference to the risk of respiratory illness. So even tier 2, tier 3 cook stoves, and if you don't know what that is, we'll come back to that later, aren't really there yet. And the world has spent 30 years, 40 years trying to roll out those improved cook stoves. In 2015, there started to be literature saying that strategy was not working. It was not working from a health point of view, but it also wasn't even working in terms of keeping up with population growth. There were narratives that said that if we would get to 2030 and there would still be the same number of people without improved cook stoves as there are today. And so there were calls for an alternative strategy. The phraseology that they used was something other than business as usual. And it was around 2014, 2015 that we were really beginning to think, what is the alternative strategy and what is the alternative narrative? At the heart of Modern Energy Cooking Services Program, MECS, is the idea that we want to change the narrative. Well, let me just frame it as change the narrative. So what are the two narratives? Over here, we have the narrative on biomass cooking. We have that we can improve the combustion, and that with that improved combustion, we can reduce the economic challenges to the household, we can reduce deforestation, and most importantly, we can reduce air pollution, including the air pollution contribution or the emissions that contribute to climate change. Over here we had energy access. There's a grand narrative and investment going on about energy access, and most people interpret that, at least up until 2014, as meaning electricity access. So this is where all the grid extension comes in and the upgrading of the generating supplies, etc. And there are emerging new narratives within this. There's decentralization, there's off-grid, there's renewable energy. All of this is coming into this energy access, which is pretty much a synonym for electricity access. The program is wondering and researching. It's a research program. And so we are researching the hypothesis that if we bring cooking into this energy access agenda, that actually the enduring problem of biomass cooking will be tackled more effectively, and that there will be alternative approaches, alternative business models, innovative technology, and that there is a moment in time here in 2019, 2020, when the program starts, that we can spend the next 10 years on taking this forward. So if I just stop this video now and leave you with the one thought, it's about changing the narrative from the old narrative, which is a complex mix of the enduring problem of biomass cooking, and the new narrative is how do we bring this into electricity generation, whether that be on-grid or off-grid, and how can we leverage the investment in grid electricity and off-grid electricity to contribute to the cooking problem.